If you're looking for live local music from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, you came to the right place. Welcome to Hugh Shows.
We're all at the Hugh Show. It's a lot of fun. He's got all the answers. Yeah, he's got them written down. So let's all watch a Hugh Show till he gets to number one. Yeah.
Thank you so much for tuning in. I am your host, Hugh Twyman, and I have been writing a music and photography blog in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for 16 years. Check me out at HughShows.com and follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at HughShows. My musical guest for this edition of Hugh Show's Social Distance Television is Hemlock for Socrates, a Pittsburgh-based experimental alt-pop duo whose latest release, Paper Animals, from November 2019, seamlessly showcases their ability to blend electronica, avant-garde, and standard pop into a sound all their own that they have been crafting from 20 years of creating music together. Would you all please welcome Heather Shore and Keegan Heiss from Hemlock for Socrates. Hey, there you are.
Hi there.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Yeah, this is totally weird because we're all shut in, and I just wanted to get your thoughts or your experiences of the pandemic so far. How are you holding up with this craziness?
It's both, I guess, terrible and awesome at the same time. I mean, so I'm at home, and I'm normally not, and we homeschool our kids. Mm-hmm. So it's been a chance for me to be back at home with them. But it's also, we're afraid to go to the grocery store. We're afraid to leave our house. Like, there's no unplanned, trips or seeing friends. It's, paranoia, but also like some great family time spent together, some great time spent making music. Yeah.
So you two are married, and you have how many kids?
I have two kids.
Two. And what ages are they?
They are 11 and 8.
Okay, so they're still somewhat fun.
Not yet teenagers, but getting there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We have a 19 and a 16-year-old, two girls, and it's just like, it's fun to be together, but we're wringing each other's necks most of the time.
Yeah.
Or do you usually stay at home to work, Heather, or is this your?
No, I'm sort of forced to. I work at a call center, okay. Customer service, so I'm normally there, but because they closed all those sites down, I'm home.
But you're still able to work, or are you just?
I'm not working from home. They're actually trying to get that up and running, but they're a little bit behind the times on that, so they haven't set it up yet.
Yeah, I think we're all catching up.
It's supposedly going to happen. I just don't know when. So I am being paid, which is great, but so it's been like a weird vacation of sorts.
Yeah. Keegan, how about you? Are you working?
I was working part-time at a coffee shop, which is closed. So I'm currently unemployed. But I also was already homeschooling our kids, which
full-time.
Yeah.
Full-time homeschooling.
So you have been homeschooling them their entire school career?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So this is nothing new to you? This is a shock?
Yeah, I mean, it's actually relatively new to me. I was working full-time up to last year, and Heather was the main homeschooler, and then we kind of traded places. But yeah, our kids are still, getting their education.
Yeah, more so. Like, I'm a teacher in the Pittsburgh Public Schools, and our kids really aren't because of the lack of technology and the lack of services that some of them don't have. So there's not an equal playing ground, and it's just it's new territory, but it's just basically it just shows you what they didn't have before, and it just magnifies it. It's so sad. So
So are you still then teaching like remotely, or you having to do that?
Yes, we're teaching remotely for now. We're doing Microsoft Teams, and we're trying to set that up, and it's successful, and then it isn't. So I think this is just a learning curve for next year in case we have to do it next year. So
yeah, well, I can't imagine every student is prepared for that, or every family,
not at all. Not all teachers were. So the expectations are real low right now, just to get everybody up and running, hopefully. So we'll see where it goes in the fall. But so yeah, we're going to talk a bit about your history and your music making. You're going to play 3 songs. They're all from Paper Animals from last year. I guess the first one's called On the Table, and it opens the album?
It does, yeah.
Cool. So do you mind playing that?
Yeah, we'd love to.
Right on. Okay, so we're going to go straight to that. And this is Hemlock for Socrates with On the Table.
Ready.
And that was called On the Table. And how did you two meet? I was listening to a song on the album called "The Attraction," and then is that autobiographical?
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Okay, you didn't meet at a protest.
Yeah, Keegan calls. Tell him what you call it.
The terrorist karaoke breakup song. Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, we haven't done any terrorist activities that I know of.
Okay, good. But where did you meet? You're not originally from Pittsburgh?
No, we I guess we both went to school together. That's where we met in high school.
Yeah.
High school sweethearts. Not really.
Brookfield, Connecticut.
Okay.
Yeah. And we weren't dating until I went off to college, he went off to college, and then we sort of started a band. Oh, we were in a band.
We were in a band together before we were dating.
That's right.
Yeah.
It was a little bit of band drama. I was dating the drummer, and then
very Jefferson Airplane-esque.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there was like a year in between, so it's all good.
And the band survived until it didn't.
Not because of the drama, the romantic drama, I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, just creative differences. Let's just say that, right?
Went our separate ways. Yeah.
And then
we stayed together.
Yeah, you've been making music for 20 years, including that band, I'm sure. and then you decided to get married. Do you find that being married helps or hurts your creativity or your music together?
Well, it's certainly convenient for writing music and practicing. I mean, we're here, but I think our relationship is such that we just sort of collaborate so easily. Like I'll start an idea and I'll be like, hey, take a look at this. And then he'll work on it a bit. And then, vice versa, kind of switch back and forth. So much so that like, sometimes we look back at a song and we're like, well, who wrote that? And we're like, I don't know.
Right.
It's kind of like really collaborative. So, I mean, usually whoever is singing in a song starts the idea generally, but I mean, that's not always the case either.
Yeah.
So.
And I guess, we're always talking about things, whether it's going grocery shopping or more, which, has worked its way into some song lyrics. Or,
That's true.
It's true. Or more, deeper issues. We spend a lot of time in sort of philosophical debate. And so a lot of the time we're already sort of on the same page, conceptually, or, if there's a narrative that pops up, it's like, oh yeah, that's like what we were just talking about the other day. So it definitely bleeds into the songwriting. And, of course, any creative partnership, there are differences and arguments and conflict, but I think it's easier ultimately because here we are, we're forced to confront that conflict and resolve that conflict. You can't escape each other because there's
the band drama
layers of relationship.
Doesn't stop it from existing, I guess.
Yeah, which is interesting what you said, Heather. It's like you don't know who did what, and that's almost like a relationship. You're both given to the relationship, and at times, I'll have an argument with my wife. I'm like, oh, you did this, and she's like, no, you did that. That kind of thing. So it's like,
yeah,
okay,
definitely.
I guess. How long have you been married?
We're not sure.
Oh, okay.
2007.
Yeah, we kind of got married legally and then had an event. Yeah, it was 2007.
2007. Yeah.
So you're off.
13 years.
You're both off the hook for forgetting the date.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anniversary. That's awesome.
March or
I mean,
February.
we like, at one point we're against marriage completely. We were like, we're not going to do it. Forget about it. And we were together for like 10 years.
Yeah.
And then we were like, wait, we could be saving money on our taxes right now.
Yep.
So
absolutely.
let's just do it. Yeah, health insurance.
Yeah. So I know a couple people like that. But it's not like, for them, I'm not speaking for you, but it's not like the adamant, oh, we're not getting married stance just because, we don't have to be defined or whatever. It wasn't that serious for them. It was just like, hey, let's do this because it could benefit us,
Yeah. And we felt like we didn't need that label, I guess. It didn't matter. We were sort of committed to each other at that point, but I guess it did change things, when it actually was legal a little bit.
So we're going to hear two more songs for the album, and the album is Paper Animals from last year. This song is called One Among Many, and it's not the penultimate song from the album, but it's almost the last song or near the end of the album. Do you mind playing it?
Yeah, we'd love to.
Right on. So here is One Among Many.
Certain it's unclear.
Okay, that was Hemlock for Socrates with One Among Many. You have been in Pittsburgh for how long?
10 years now.
10
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
And how do you like it?
It's great.
We love it.
Yeah.
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 Which neighborhood are you in?
Observatory Hill, near
Over on the
Riverview
north side?
Park. Yeah.
On the north. So, yeah, do you know the whole thing about people who live in Pittsburgh, they stay on their side of the
Yeah,
river?
we heard that when we
Yeah.
first moved here, and we came from Houston, which, like, I mean, you drive 15 minutes to get anywhere. So we were kind of like, well, what's the big deal? You
Yeah.
know, why can't you go across the bridge? And now we understand.
Yep.
It's like, oh, because it's a pain in the butt.
Yeah, it's a total pain in the butt to like go across
Yeah.
the bridge, but not
Yeah.
I guess not during this pandemic. You know, there is
Yeah.
no thing as traffic anymore, which
Yeah, which,
know,
like, you know, it's good for the environment.
oh
At
man,
least there's that.
it's crazy. Like, you
Yeah.
know, like seeing things around the world, like the jellyfish in the I don't even know if they're the canals in Venice. You can
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
down and
Like, you can see
Dolphins.
dolphins and, like, all sorts of lakes and bodies of water clearing up and smog. It's kind of crazy. It makes you
Yeah.
think, like, maybe we should be doing this, you know, like maybe
Yeah.
there's some good to it, apart
oh,
from
absolutely.
extreme
No.
paranoia and, you know, sickness and all that.
Yeah,
Terrible.
I
stuff going
also
on.
saw a report from the geological study that because of the human traffic and just people out, there's a low level of seismic readings. So now
Oh,
that
wow.
the pandemic is nobody's out, there is none.
Huh.
Crazy.
That
It's
is
pretty
crazy.
shocking.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know that. That's,
Yeah, it's just I
really
think it's just
interesting.
the upper crust or just the portion. It's not like low level, but deep down. But yeah, they said there's a difference. We could see the readings, and less people means less rumblings on the earth. It's like wow,
Wow.
you know,
Yeah.
and yeah, through this whole thing, it seems like you know, this is a drag, and this is profoundly bad. But you know, I guess you have to look to the good and. You know, I'm talking to musicians and the creativity is off the charts, even like being able to communicate like this and me being able to do the show remotely. I would
Yeah.
never have thought of being able to do
Right.
this.
I mean, it's certainly opened up different venues. I mean, yeah, we had a show scheduled for April 4th at the government center that was then canceled,
Mhm.
which we were really bummed about because we kind of worked really hard to get it, but then, you know, having to be canceled. But it also feels like, okay, well, what are we going to do now?
Yeah.
We made a video. We like recorded the set that we would have played here in our attic and, you know, put that out.
And,
It's not the same, but it's definitely, you know, an opportunity
Yeah.
that we wouldn't have thought of if we weren't forced to think of it. So,
yeah,
Yeah. It's definitely-
the alternate facts is what they are. But
Yeah.
the government center, you just missed it then because I think March we close. See, I don't even know what
yeah,
day it is.
right? I know.
Yeah.
What month is it?
Yeah, I know it's Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day, Heather.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm listening to your music, and I describe it as cinematic. It's very dramatic, and I think you know that has a lot to do with your voice, Heather. It's you know, your range is you know, it just gives a gravitas to your songs. I mean, yeah,
Well, thanks.
yeah, and I've really been enjoying, you know, delving into it for this. So, like you said before, if you're singing, you're probably the writer, or not so much, but more so than if Keegan was.
Yeah. Well,
For the most part, yeah.
it used to be that Keegan wrote all the lyrics, and then I would take some and write a song. But now it's, especially on Paper Animals, I guess that's really the first
It's your
album
breakout.
that I started writing lyrics. So pretty much anything that I'm singing, I wrote lyrics for and had the sort of start of the song, and vice versa for him.
Yeah.
Or same thing for you, I guess.
Yeah.
Whatever you started with.
What are your plans for the future? Just keep record. Can you record up in the attic?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Paper Animals was all recorded here. We mixed it all ourselves. So yeah. we're definitely, we've got lots of albums going. We have so many ideas. We have maybe 3 or 4 different
sort of sets.
albums worth. Yeah. That we're looking forward to sort of slowly getting to, trying to pace ourselves.
Exactly. I'm trying to pace myself. I have 4 HughShows SDTV recordings tomorrow alone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then I have 2 more within the rest of the week just to see if I can do it, just to put out content. But I don't know. You're right. It's just like, oh, how do you pace yourself? And you don't want to like put everything to the wall at once. So
yeah.
Cool.
Well, and also like we have Paper Animals and we'd love to play more shows with it, but is that going to happen? Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah.
Hopefully, eventually.
Right. By the time it we're out of this thing, you might have 2 more albums. It's like,
right.
Yeah. We'll do a Paper Animals tribute show. Get everybody from Pittsburgh to play it, dude. So you're gonna play. Speaking of the album, you're gonna play the last song on the album. This is called "Something or Nothing."
Right.
Right. You mind playing it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Love it.
Right on. Here we go. that was Something or Nothing off of Paper Animals, the latest album from Hemlock for Socrates. And I can't thank you both enough for doing this.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It was great. Great opportunity.
Yeah, it's been really nice to finally meet you virtually. Hopefully we can do it in the flesh someday, and I'm sure we will. This thing will pass. Something will happen.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah, so you
someday.
Someday, yeah. What is your main web presence? Is it Hemlock for Socrates band.com or just
Hemlock for Socrates.com?
Yeah. Hemlock for Socrates.
Although Facebook and Instagram too. We probably do more on them.
Okay, and
YouTube as well. We try to put everything that's on Instagram. Well, not everything, but a lot of things that are on there on YouTube.
Okay, cool. And yeah, I'll have it listed in the description of the when I upload. How did you come up with the name?
So it actually back in high school, I self-published a subversive newsletter. It was really bad, but it was called Hemlock for Socrates, like kind of a ironic twist of the knife sort of. Yeah. And when the last band that we were in with other people dissolved, I still had the name sort of kicking around in my head and started using it with some solo stuff, and then we started working together again on music, and it became the band.
Subverted it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you still have copies of the newsletter?
Yes, but they're not for public view.
On a folder somewhere.
They're in a safe.
How many copies did you do? Was it?
It was like 20 or 30. It was
okay.
Yeah.
In high school.
Yeah. Passed it around.
I mean, you get them out, scan them, and put them up. Let's see it.
Yeah. No, it's really
pretty embarrassing. Well, some of it's pretty funny actually, but it's very absurd.
Is it like old pictures with funky haircuts? You know what I mean when they say.
Yeah, it's more just like nonsense.
Gibberish. Yeah. Hey, there's nothing wrong with nonsense. I think we need it right now. So, but again, thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate it, and I hope you both stay safe.
Yeah, you too.
You too.
Right on. Yeah. So thank you all for tuning in. If you want to check me out online, it's HughShows.com. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And as I always end the show, always remember to hashtag support Pittsburgh music. Cool. See you soon.
We have a way of explaining things to Hugh. Yeah, we have a way of explaining things to Hugh. Yeah, we have a way of explaining things to Hugh.